Hi guys, happy Thursday night, happy glute class. How are ya? It is Thursday. It is 6:15 in Toronto. It is raining. It's actually 6:17. I'm running a little late, but that's okay. It's raining. It's a beautiful rainy day. And hi guys. This is going to be a 30-minute quick and dirty. That doesn't sound right, does it? Glute class, all glute class. If you have a looped band at home, go ahead and grab your looped band. We will use it for some exercises. Actually, take that back. You will use it for some exercises. I'm going to demonstrate without it. So if you have a looped band at home, grab it. If you have actually, grab this as well. If you don't have a loop band and you have a long band, you can take your long band and you can just tie it around your thighs when we get there. And if you don't have either of those, it's no big deal because I'm going to do the workout without the band, and it's still going to be a good fiery glute workout. So this workout is meant to be an all levels workout. Do what works for you. I'm going to try to teach it nice and fiery. If you're getting tired and it feels like it's too much, just take a break. I will make sure that there are many options along the way. Before we start, if you're new to the studio, and the studio is my house right now, so welcome to my house, just leave me a little comment and say hi. And if you're not new to the studio, hi, leave me a comment and say hi anyway. We're gonna start in about 2 more seconds. Just wait for a couple more people to get organized and get here. Remember that as always for Pilates, the work is in the details, right? So really focus on your form. The more you focus on your form, the better the work you'll get through your glutes. The nice thing about glute work, well, one of the things I love about glute work is glutes at the back and, hi guys, glutes at the side. So we'll do a little bit of work for the back of the bum. We'll do a little bit of work for the side of the bum. We've only got 30 minutes, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to have a little sip of water, and then we're going to get moving. A lot of good stuff coming your way. All right. So come and have a lie down on your back. We're going to start with 2 mobility things just to prep the body for movement, and then we're getting right into the glutes. So you're going to set yourself up, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Separate your feet so that your feet are really wide apart. I take my feet off of my mat. Open your arms out to a T. Backs of your hands are going to be heavy to the floor. And then to start, you're just going to tip both of your knees one way and then come back to the center. And then tip both of your knees over the other way. And then come back to the center. And I want you to make sure that you're letting your hips move. So your hips are going to turn one way and then come back to the center. And then your hips, your pelvis turn the other way and then come back to the center. Just a really nice opportunity here to stretch out the front of the thighs. Really nice opportunity here to rotate through the lower back. Get a little bit of stretch through the sides of your torso. A little bit of stretch maybe into your arms as well. You're going to do it 1 more time each way. Before you bring your legs right back to the middle, heel toe your feet so they're back underneath you. And now you're just going to open your knees out to their sides. Inner thighs will stretch. And then zip your legs back together. Open your knees out to their sides. And then you're going to zip your legs back together. Now I want you to roll through a couple more like that, just letting your thigh bones again roll in their sockets. The better your thigh bones move in the sockets, the more opportunity there is to work all around the pelvis and tops of thighs. And then next time that your legs are parallel, you're going to hold them there. You might want to reset your feet so your heels again are right under your knees. And then you're going to start to roll through a couple little pelvic tilts here, rounding and arching through your lower back. And as you round and arch through your lower back, I want you to think about your tailbone, the very bottom of your spine turning down to the floor. And then your tailbone, the very bottom of your spine curling up to the ceiling. So again, the tailbone turns down, your lower back arches. And then your tailbone curls up, your lower back rounds. Do that a couple more times. And then next time that your lower back is rounded to the floor, pause. You're going to press down into your feet. Use your glutes and hamstrings. Peel on up through your spine. Your knees are going to reach straight forward. Your hips are high, your ribs are low. Be prepared for glutes and hamstrings to get all fired up. Take a breath in And then exhale, start to sequence down through your spine. Bone, good. But bone by bone. Reset at the bottom for an inhale. With an exhale, round your back. Good. Push into your feet. You're going to peel on up through your spine. Lift your bum up a little higher. Good. Make sure your knees are tracking straight forward. Take a breath in. And then exhale from here. Start to roll down. Bone, good. By bone, good. By bone. Inhale at the bottom, lower back arches. Exhale, round your back. Good. Push into your feet. Peel on up. Hips up a little higher. Good. Knees reach a little forward. This time we're going to hold at the top, so get comfortable. I want you to think about your tailbone, the bottom of your spine. You're going to turn your tailbone down to the floor and then squeeze your glutes tail to the ceiling. Inhale, turn your tail down. Good. And then exhale, curl your tail up. So it's small. Tail turns down. Good. And then tail curls up. Your bum drops an inch and then it lifts right back up. Inhale, drop. And then exhale, lift. Now you're going to keep going, a little lift, good, and a little lift. So it's a little faster, focusing on the up, the up, you got it, the up, good. Right from the base of the bum, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and then 1. Now I want you to drop your bum a little lower, only to lift it right back up to the top. Drop your bum even lower again, and then squeeze glutes to lift to the top. Now you're going to keep going here, dropping lower, lifting higher. So there's a lot of work for the backs of the legs and the back of the pelvis. If you need to take a break, this is a good chance to take a break, reset, regroup, because we're going to be here for a while. Don't worry. Inhale, bum drops, good. Exhale, squeeze glutes to lift. Inhale, bum drops, good. Exhale, squeeze glutes to lift. Go lower with the tail down, good. Squeeze to the top. Lower with the tail down, good. Squeeze to the top, good. One more time down, good. Squeeze to the top, hold, and then take it or leave it. And you stand into your right foot, bring the left leg up for tabletop. Going from 2 legs to 1 is way more work for the back of the right leg, so see how you go. You can always just take the foot off of the heel off of the floor, keep the toes down. Wherever you are, though, from the right glute, find a little lift, lift, good, lift. This should feel like lots of work. Right glute and hamstring right at the base of the bum. Quiet through your lower back, good. Level through the hips. Let's lift up. 5, 4, 3, good. 2, hold here. Plant the left foot. Reset the hips as level as possible, and then pull that right leg up for tabletop. Parallel through the hips, good. From the left glute, drop, lift, and then lift, good, and then lift. Now you can lift right from the base of the bum. You can have the right toes on the floor if that's better for you. But I want you to feel that, I'm going to call it fire happening right at the base of the left glute. Lift, lift, good, lift. 8, 7, 6, 5, drop the ribs, 4, 3, good, 2, hold here. Lower the foot, good. Reset the hips high. Reach both hands back to the wall behind you. And now start to roll down through your spine. Bone, good. Butt bone, nice work, guys. Butt bone, good. Slide your legs out to long, good. Reach your hands back to the wall behind you, good. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then you're going to roll over onto your left side. You're going to set yourself up with your knees bent, feet in line with your bum. Now lift your head and look. Make sure your hip bones are stacked one on top of the other. Try to lengthen your right hip bone away from the top of your head. Have your head resting on something. It could be your left arm. It could be a pillow. If you can see my head, I don't think you can see my head. I have my head up so I can talk louder, but please have your head down so your neck is long. With your right hand on your right hip bone, keep your pelvis really steady. And then from here, I just want you to rotate your knee to the ceiling and then lower the knee back down. You're going to keep your hip stacked, rotate that knee to the ceiling, and then lower that knee back down. Now for those of keeners who might want to use a band, you can put a band on above your knees. It's just going to get real hard real fast, which is probably what you want, okay? So use a band above the knees if you want. Don't use a band. I'm going to go without the band. I'm going to teach this like a marathon. It's long, it's slow, it's steady. Take breaks when you need them. Ditch the band if you need to. But just check in for posture, right? Checking that your hips are stacked. checking that your top waistline is long. What I don't want to see is this, when you move the leg, that the whole torso rocks with you. So use your core to keep the pelvis really steady. Should be starting to feel the whisper of work here on the side of the pelvis and the back of the pelvis. How's it going? Slow and steady for 4. Breathing for 3. 2. And then last one, you're going to pick up the whole leg, fold the leg into bent deeper, and then slide the leg out to long kick it behind you. So a deep bend at the knee and hip, and then slide the leg out to straight and long. Now again, you're not moving the pelvis. Inhale, fold in, good. Exhale, stretch out. Inhale, fold in, good. And then exhale, stretch out. Now wherever you are, you need your knee and your foot higher than the height of your pelvis the whole way through. So if you're using the band and it's dragging your leg down here, ditch the band, because I need that leg, that foot especially, to be higher than the height of the pelvis, so the muscles on the side of your pelvis can really fire up. How's it going? Inhale, fold in, good. Exhale, press out. Inhale, fold in, good. Exhale, press out, good. Let's keep going here, slow and steady for 3, good. Really slide the leg out from the base of the bum, 2, good. And then let's hold the leg halfway between the 2, and then go back to turning the leg out, and then back to parallel. Turning the leg out, good. And then back to parallel. Your hips are still stacked. Your pelvis is still steady. So same as before, when you turn the leg out here, don't wobble the pelvis. Now you might have a little bit of turnout on this side. You might have a lot of turnout on this side. I have way more on this side. This is my happy side, my other side not so much. Just work with what you've got, making sure that your pelvis isn't moving. Turn out. And then parallel, good, and turn out again, good, and then parallel, good. Keep the top waistline long. You can use your right hand on your right hip bone to help you. Rotating out, and then back, rotating out, good, and then back, good. Strong core, good. Steady through the hips. You guys are almost there. Let's roll through the last, just 2 fingers up here, and then 1, good. Drop the leg to parallel, slide the leg out to straight, hold it there. From here, I want you to put the tiniest bend in the knee, straighten and lift. Tiny bend in the knee, good. Straighten and lift. Now if you're using the band still, quite frankly, you're my hero. This has been a long, I couldn't think of another word, series to really get those glutes fired up. Foot is higher than the height of the pelvis, and the knee is doing just a tiny little bend, bend, good, bend. The knee bends slightly forward and then fully straight. Bend slightly forward, fully straight. Keep going. Press, good, press, good, press. And if you know me, you know that I love this little move. Why? Because it's such a great way to fire up the side of the bum and the back of the bum. Press, good, press, good, press. How are your glutes? Let's go. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You got this. 3, good. 2 and 1. Lower the leg down. Hopefully it feels all kinds of good. And roll over onto all 4s. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. My small gift to you, narrow your stance so knees are tight towards each other. Tip your hips a little one way. Come back to center. And then tip your hips a little the other way. And then come back to center. Side to side, and hips go one way. Back to the center, good. Hips go the other way, good. Back to the center. You should get a nice little stretch on one side, and then a nice little stretch on the other side, good. And then park it in the middle. Top of your head reaches forward, tailbone reaches back. Lift your ribs up a little bit. The leg that you were just working, your right leg, is going to be your gesture leg. I want you to lift your right knee so it just clears your mat. The knee stays low. And then you're going to start to open that knee out to the right, and then bring it back to center. Open that knee out to the right, good, and then back to the center. Now, if you're not super happy on your wrists for too long, you can drop down and do this on your elbows. You can also take a couple little breaks along the way. Now, do me a favor, check in here that your pelvis is still neutral. You can put your left hand on your lower back. Try to have the back of your pelvis here flat, as I lose my balance, like a tabletop. Keep going. You can keep the left hand on the lower back if you want. We're going to make the movement with the right leg bigger, go right. Take the knee back, take the knee up, and then sweep it around. So it goes side, it goes back and up, and then it circles around. Side, back and up, good, circles around. All the while, your lower back stays nice and quiet. Top of the head still reaches forwards. Good. Shoulders are still away from your ears. Take a break off of your hands as you need to. When you're ready, though, from here, it's going to get even bigger and even better. I want you to turn your hips open now as you lift the knee, and then circle the leg back underneath you. Turn your hips open as you lift the leg, and then circle back underneath you. Inhale, roll the hips, good. Exhale, tuck around. Inhale, roll the hips, good. Exhale, tuck around. So we're working through the right leg, but now we're also working through that left glute. Go for a bigger sweep around, good. And then again, an even bigger circle sweep around, good. This time, let's roll up and hold up. Now send your hips a little bit more to the right. Lift the right knee higher. Take the right foot a little bit more to the right, and then the right knee from here makes a tiny lift. Lift, good, lift. Ribs are lifted, good. Neck is long. Lift from the side of your pelvis. 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Tuck that all back underneath you. Take a break off of your hands if you need to. When you're ready, meet me in a downward facing dog. Hands pressing down, hips high. You can tread out through your feet here. One knee bends, other knee bends. Kind of swagger the hips. Sit into your straight leg hip for a little extra stretch around the pelvis. And then when you're ready from here, you're going to stay in the middle. And we're going to pull forward into a plank. Now, we won't be here for long, just long enough to make a smooth transition to the floor. Ribs lifted, top of the head reaches forward, strong core. Start to bend your elbows and lower down onto your front. 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down for 1. So nicely done, guys. Flip on over onto your second side when you're ready. You're going to lie. I'm going to scooch so that you can see more legs. You're going to lie with your knees bent, feet in line with your bum. Take that extra second, stack your hip bones one on top of the other. Make sure that your left hip bone here is lengthening away from the top of your head. You might even feel a little bit of a stretch in the left side of the waist. Head is supported by something, an arm, a pillow, a blanket, whatever you've got. That left knee is going to start to turn up, and then the left knee returns back to where it was. Left leg turns out, and then left leg returns back. Now your hips are going to stay stacked. Excuse me. Your pelvis is going to stay steady. And again, you're going to work with what you've got. Now, I already said it on the first side. My left leg doesn't turn out very well. It's hard, doesn't feel good, blah, blah, blah. So my range is a lot smaller. I know that. But I'm still keeping my pelvis steady. I would love for my knee to roll higher to the ceiling. But when I do that, can you see how I move my pelvis? It's not the greatest. So keep the hips stacked. Keep the pelvis quiet. And work with your range. What's most important is the right muscles are working, not the actual distance of the leg. Turning out slowly here. If you've got your band on, you've got it on above your knees. You're working through the resistance and making sure that your pelvis is not moving. When you're ready from here, switching to part 2, you're going to pick up the whole leg, fold the leg into bend, slide the leg out to straight and long. Inhale, bend in deeply. Exhale, slide out long. How's it going? So a couple of things here. If you're using the resistance of the band, great. The band is a great way to really fire up the muscles on the side of the pelvis. It's like a lot about strength and power, which is super important. If you're not using the band, it's a really good opportunity to focus on your form. Not that you're not doing that if you're using the band, but without the resistance, you can be really picky about the position of your pelvis, and the pickier you are with the position of your pelvis, the more work you get through your glutes. Almost there, guys. Fold in deep, slide out long. Inhale, fold in deep, good. Exhale, slide out long, good. Just try to slide the leg a little straighter. And then next time that the leg is halfway between the two, let's hold it there, back to that turnout action. Rotating the leg out. Rotating the leg out. Good. Working from the side of the pelvis. Good. Working from the back of the pelvis. And again, using core to really stabilize your spine. How's it going? Let's keep rolling out through that leg. Breathing. Checking that the top waistline is long. Checking that your hips are stacked. Making sure that you're not moving your pelvis as you rotate out slowly. We're going to roll through the last 6, 5, 4, slow and steady, 3, 2, and then my favorite part, 1. Actually, that's not my favorite part. This is my favorite part. Slide the leg out to straight, little bend in the knee, fully straighten. Little bend in the knee, fully straighten. Straighten good, straighten good, straight. It's small and it's quick. Your foot is higher than the height of the pelvis. The knee bends slightly forward, fully straighten. Slightly forward, good, fully straight. So you're not bringing the heel up to the bum. It's a very small bend and stretch, good, bend and stretch. Top waistline long, good. Hips still stacked. Straighten good, straighten good, straighten. How's it going? Almost there. And by almost, you have like a good, I don't know, at least 15 reps left. Let's straighten good, straighten good, straighten. Press good, press. Nice work, guys. Press. Last 5, 4, 3, good, 2, and then 1. How's the fire? Lower the leg down. So nicely done. If you have your band on, take it off. You're pushing up again onto all fours. My same gift to you, narrow your stance. Tip the hips a couple times from side to side. This time when you're over, you can stay over, sit back a little, see what that feels like. Shift over, shift back a little bit. 1 more time. Just make sure you're even on your sets. And then park it in the middle. Good. Reset your spine neutral here. So head forward, bum back. Ribs lifted, core strong. That left knee, the same leg you were just working, is going to hover. Kick the left knee left, and then tuck it back underneath you. Left knee left, tuck it back underneath you. Lean a little to the left. Reach forward with the top of the head. Take your right hand at least for a second onto your lower back and make sure that your lower back here is as neutral as possible. You can keep the hand there for a little extra core and balance challenge, or you can put the hand back on the floor. Head forward, neck long. Adding on from here, you're going to take the knee side, take the knee back, and then tuck it back underneath you. Side, back and up, good, and then tucking underneath. Ribs are lifted. Top of your head is reaching forward. Core is nice and strong. Side, up, and around. Side, up, back, and around. Good. How's it going? We'll roll through a couple more like this, just letting that thigh bone again roll in the socket. Watching your posture here, making sure your neck is long, making sure your shoulders are away from your ears. And then let's make it bigger now. Roll the hips with you. So turn the hips open, good. Circle around. Turn the hips open, good, and then circle around. Couple more times like this. So as you move the pelvis here, as you spin your belly button open to the side wall, now that right glute is working as well. Let's go for 4 more like this. Up and around, good. Up again, good. And then around. I forgot to count. I think we're at 2 more. Up, good. And then around. Let's make this the last one. Up, good, but hold. Send the hips more to the left. Turn the belly button to the left. Left knee higher. And then left knee makes that little lift. Lift, good, lift. Top of the head reaches as forwards as possible. Ribs are as lifted as possible. Lift from the side of the pelvis. Up, up, good, up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, last 1. Tuck the knee back underneath you. Turn the toes under. Downward facing dog. Drop your head, drop your hands. And if you need a break off of your hands, take it. Whenever you're ready, though, one straight leg is going to kick up to the ceiling. Turn the hips open. and then lower that leg back down. Other straight leg is going to come up to the ceiling. Turn the hips open, and then lower that foot back down. Do it one more time each side. Lift, turn. You can bend the knee if that feels good. Lower the foot back down. And then one more time here. Lift, turn. Good. You can bend the knee. Good. Lower the foot down. Good. And then we're going to come into a plank just as a transition to the floor again. So head reaches forwards, bum reaches back, ribs are lifted. Hold. And then start to bend your elbows and lower down onto your front. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So nicely done. You're going to roll onto your back. How are your glutes feeling? We have one last little piece of work. Save the best for last. If you're using a band, if you want to use a band, you can put the band on above your knees for this one. We've got one last round of bridging. So heels under knees, toes pointing straight forward. Roll through a couple little pelvic tilts, which should already feel different than they did 30-something minutes ago at the beginning of this class. And then when you're ready, round your lower back, push into your feet, roll up into your bridge. Same as before, bum up high, knees reach forward, ribs are quiet. Start to push your knees out wide, and then resist your knees back in. Push your knees out wide, and then resist back in. Hips are high, ribs are quiet. Good. Collarbones are really broad. How's it going? Press, and then center. Press, good, and then center. Good. Keep the hips high. Keep the ribs quiet, and then breathe. Wide, and then center. Good. Wide, good, and then center. Now, wherever you are, really push from the sides of the pelvis. If you're using the band, you've got that resistance. If you're not using the band, you've got to make that resistance. Hey, little commercial break. If you want a band, I have a bunch to sell. So you can send me a direct message and I can send you one in the mail. That was a good commercial break. Okay, hold the knees wide, hold the knees wide. From here, you're gonna push one hip bone higher to the ceiling, and then you're gonna switch and push the other hip bone higher to the ceiling. I am gonna tell you one thing though. I really like going band free, but I also really like having the band as a whole different experience. Like I said before, the band is a lot about like pure strength. It's a good way to build really functional strength. Going without the props, going without the band is also just a really good way to focus on your form. So nice to have options, you know what I'm saying? Wide with the knees, good. Rotating through the pelvis. We're gonna keep going here. Switch, and then switch. One hip high, good. Other hip high, good. How's it going? Let's keep going here for 6, 5, 4, good. 3, 2, and then 1. Park at center, hold. You're gonna drop your whole pelvis an inch. Squeeze your glutes to lift. Whole pelvis goes down 2 inches, good. Squeeze your glutes to lift. Guess what? It's 3 inches, good. Squeeze to lift. 4 inches, good. Squeeze to lift. We're gonna do a couple more. Drop lower, good, and then squeeze higher. Drop lower, good. Squeeze higher. Wide through the knees, good. Heavy across the backs of the arms. Full range here. Lift. And then lift, good, and then lift. Really good work here through the side of the pelvis, the base of the bum, and if you're lucky, maybe a little bit of activity in the inner thighs. Let's go up and down here for 5. Up and down here for 4. It's a full range for 3. How are your glutes for 2? Good. And then last one, let's hold. Roll the legs to parallel. Reach your hands back to the wall behind you. And so slowly roll down through your spine. Bone, good. By bone, good. By bone. Hug both of your knees into your chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then whenever you're ready from here, you're going to rock and roll yourself up to sit. My small and real little gift to you. You're gonna sit with the soles of your feet together, knees apart. If sitting in this position is challenging for you, then just sit on something. Take a towel, take a pillow, stick it underneath your pelvis so that you can sit up a little taller. If your knees are way up here, it'll help them drop a little. Hold onto your feet, get even taller through your spine. Big inhale. And then with a long exhale, you're gonna start to hinge forward. And you might hinge forward like a little bit. You might fold right forward. It doesn't matter to me. Just want you to feel a really nice stretch here through the inside line of the legs, maybe across the back of the pelvis. Drop the head, fold in a little deeper. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then roll right up to sit tall. And again, make sure it's a really tall spine. So again, have something underneath you. Take your right hand to your left knee. Take the left hand back behind you. And then use your hands, push, pull, turn to look over that left shoulder. Keep the knees wide. Use the back hand to help prop you up to sit taller. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Good. And then spiral that back to center. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand back behind you. Twist. Breathe. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then come on right back to the center. Draw the legs together. Shake your legs out in front of you. Done and done, guys. How are you feeling? I feel like that half hour went by so fast. That was a nice way to get glutes all fired up. If you want more, there is more. I am going to try to live stream this class, this 30-minute quickie little class every Thursday at this time, but also another commercial little break here. I live stream 6 days a week from the North at Home page, so if you're interested in live classes 6 days a week, if you're interested in an entire catalog of on-demand classes, if you're interested in screen sharing classes, North at Home is your ticket. If you have any questions, let me know. Heather, I'm so glad you were here. It was so nice to see your name. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want a band, let me know. If there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here. Happy Thursday.